What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with another Destiny video and another weapon guide that we're going to do today. Now today I'm actually going to be talking about a weapon that I consider to be one of my rare gems, and this is the ALR96 Overkill. This is an auto rifle that you can get from the Vanguard ROC strikes. I believe right now that is the only way you can acquire this weapon as a random drop from those ROC strike rewards at the reward screen. And there are all kinds of different versions you can get of it in terms of the perks. I do not believe, I have yet to see the Cryptarch give me any of the new rare weapons from Blue Engrams, so I do not believe you can acquire it that way. But this is actually, I got this off of a ROC strike a long time ago. It's one of my favorite weapons I've ever picked up in the game for a lot of reasons. Just in what I call it a rare gem because it's a rare weapon, obviously. Now this series I'm going to do, the Rare Gem series, is basically going to go through the rare weapons, the blue weapons, and highlight some that I think are very useful in the Crucible and in the game overall. And I did a review on the Stranger's Rifle a little bit ago. That is actually one of those weapons that I think fits that category as well. It's a very solid weapon. It's a weapon that you can compete with in the Crucible and do very well with. And this ALR96 Overkill is also one of those weapons. So one of the first things I like about it is it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's a very clean looking weapon. It's got a nice design to it, a nice red color. And this one in particular, what I like about it is I got this scope here. This is actually my favorite type of scope in Destiny. I love this. It reminds me, you know, I don't want to, I hate bringing up Call of Duty because I know nobody likes Call of Duty, but I used to play a lot of Call of Duty, and this reminds me of the old holographic sights. It's very clean, very easy to aim with. Very easy to use at a lot of different ranges, even though my aim here is terrible, as you can see there. But this kind of shows you this is extremely long range to be using an auto rifle, and auto rifles did get a pretty big nerf when it comes to long range damage and long range accuracy, and you can kind of see that in effect here as I try to take out these guys from really far away. But overall, still a really good auto rifle here. So let's, while I sit here and waste bullets on this phalanx, why don't we sit here and talk about this weapon. And again, like I said, you get this from the Vanguard ROC strike. Now, you see there, it's got a maximum attack level of 294. Again, I think this weapon just looks really good. Now, you can see the base statistics there. Rate of fire is very high. Impact is a little bit lower, but it's not one of those like minuscule impact low auto rifles. The impact on this is actually does a pretty good amount of damage depending on what perks you have on the weapon. The range is pretty good, and then you have stability that's okay, and reload speed is pretty reasonable. The nice thing about this is it comes out of the box with a magazine size of 35, which is very good for an auto rifle, and that's on all of these. That's on any drop version you get of this. Now again, this may have different scopes and different perks. You can see here it's got the red dot OES. This is actually my favorite sight in the game. I love getting this on all my weapons, whether it's a scout rifle, an auto rifle. It's just very clean and easy to aim with. I also picked up the red dot ORS1 on here. Not a huge fan of this scope. It gives you maybe a little bit more accuracy at long range, but overall just not a huge fan of the way it looks. It's very boxy, and I just don't really care for it that much, but it does give you a little bit more long range capability with this weapon. And then the other scope that I got on this version is the Ranged Lens RLS3. This is mid-range scope, and you can see it's kind of that more of a sharpshooter, longer range. I do actually like these scopes. I have this on this is the scope I use on the Vanquisher, the vendor version, and it's one that I really do like. Gives you a nice big clear sight picture there. It can be a little bit harder to handle at close range, but overall not a bad scope. And you can see here again, this is extremely long range with this that I'm trying to take this guy down. So auto rifle nerf, you can definitely tell it hurt the range, but this thing still takes people out from a good distance away. So we'll go back to here. Now this is the reason I really like this weapon. I got the focused fire perk on this. This is very comparable to the perk you get on the Suros Regime. When zoomed in, the weapon fires slower, but it causes additional damage. And to kind of give you an idea here, this is the normal fire rate of this weapon. And if you get this without focused fire, that's how fast it's going to fire even when you zoom in. You can see it's a very, very fast fire rate on this weapon. Very similar to the Suros Regime. Now if you zoom in, you can see how it slows down quite a bit. Makes it a little bit more accurate, easier to handle, and it does a little bit more damage as well, which is very nice. Now, going on to the rest of the perks with this weapon, I got skip rounds and I got hand loaded to give it a little bit more range. There you can see the range drop off if I change the skip rounds. Skip rounds, for what I've found, is a pretty much useless perk in this game. I haven't really found any need to use skip rounds whatsoever. So let's get into some damage numbers here on this weapon. In the Crucible, what you're going to see, like I've started to tack on my Crucible gameplay footage towards the end of these videos, so you guys can kind of get a full match in and see me use it. I don't commentate on them; I just kind of put the gameplay there at the end. Whether I do well or do poorly, I try to just let you guys see how the weapon does. I don't change my, I don't cut my clips or only show my positive gameplay. And I can tell you right now, the gameplay I got with the ALR96 was kind of underwhelming. It wasn't really all that good, but I still wanted to show you guys how the weapon performs in the Crucible, so I did go ahead and tack it on at the end here. You get to see it once I get done with the initial meat and potatoes of the review here. So I'm trying to find some ammunition since I don't have any primary ammo. Nobody seems to want to drop any for me here. Let's just run through all these. There we go. Go ahead and reload there, so I have some ammo to use with this weapon. Now, when you are talking about damage on this weapon, if we're looking at the Crucible, this thing is actually going to do 25 damage to the head and 20 to the body. Now, if you compare that to some of the other auto rifles, like for say the Vanquisher, there's actually higher numbers than the Vanquisher. The Vanquisher does 23 to the head and 19 to the body, and so right out of the box, you know, very comparable to some of the better auto rifles in the game. Now, it's not going to be a Suros Regime, so you're not going to completely dominate PvP with this weapon, but you can do very well with this weapon in the Crucible. I actually used this weapon in the 3rd Iron Banner. I used it, it was the only really decent auto rifle I had at the time, and I figured I was going to go in and get absolutely stomped because I was using a blue weapon when everybody else had their exotics and their Vex Mythoclast and Suros Regimes, and I actually held my own and did very, very well in that Iron Banner. This weapon really, if you stay at a mid-range and play very patiently, especially with on mine, like I said, you know, I got lucky and got the focused fire perk on it. It allows me to stay at a mid-range and do a little bit of extra headshot damage. So, really was surprised at how well I did with this weapon in the Crucible. And if you have to back off and, you know, like I said, you know, do a hip fire, you get a very decent rate of fire there. If you can keep that centered on somebody's body, you can take them down really quick before they get into shotgun range. So, overall, very good weapon in terms of getting a rare that you can get from just doing a strike, that anybody can acquire this. There's really not a lot to it. You have to just get lucky on those strike drops and hope you get one of them. Now, if we talk about PvE damage, these were numbers I tested against level 30s on a just going into a mission and running it on heroic against level 30 enemies. It gets actually some pretty good damage on those enemies. Let's see here. We did a headshot damage is 277, and body shot was 111. That is using the focused fire perk. On a major, the headshot damage was 139, body damage was 111, and that's using the focused fire perk. Again, that's numbers against level 30 enemies. Now, if you use just the hip fire, you will get 208 damage from a headshot, and that's going to be probably what the normal version of this weapon will do in terms of a headshot is going to be 208. Body damage is going to be 83. Now, if you are going up against a level 30 major, you're going to get 104 damage for a headshot and 83 damage on a body shot. And again, those are the hip fire numbers. So, overall, very good auto rifle. Like I said, one of my rare gems. I have a couple of blue weapons that I keep in my vault to use in PvP sometimes, and also if I get bored. Like I said, you know, I'm using this in PvE. It's got an attack rating of 294, so you can use it for a lot of different stuff up until you get like up to level 30 plus. So very good auto rifle that you can use if you are looking to just get a weapon where you don't have to, you know, grind a lot to get one of those legendaries or exotics. This is actually a very good weapon that you can use. And that's one thing I do suggest, guys. If you find a rare weapon that you really like, hang on to it. If it fits your playstyle, if it's comfortable to use, like I also have this Prime Big Sky Mark 48. I got this in an Iron Banner from a drop, and it's a really good hand cannon. I really do like it. You can notice the impact is just off the charts on this thing, and it's also got explosive rounds and performance bonus for extra ammunition. Love this gun. It's very slow firing. It fits my playstyle because I like to play more patiently and balance my shots. And, you know, if you come across weapons like that, I just would definitely recommend you hang on to them and use them if you're comfortable. Because in the Crucible, the damage is normalized, so you can use these blue weapons. There's even some green weapons that you might find useful. I've seen people even use the I think it's the Kostov, the starting assault rifle you get in the game, and do very well in the Crucible. And just for a quick comparison here, we're going to compare these side by side. Looking at the Vanquisher 8 with this is the vendor version of the Vanquisher. You can see it has a little bit lower rate of fire, higher impact, range is a little bit lower, and it has a faster reload speed. Now, I will tell you the Vanquisher, if you don't have the ALR96 with the focus fire perk, the Vanquisher will do more damage than than it does in PvP, but it's still a pretty good auto rifle in PvP either way. And then comparing it just real quick for comparison's sake to Suros Regime, you can see Suros actually has a little bit lower rate of fire, but obviously the impact range and stability are a lot better there. But you can see bigger magazine than Suros, and you've also got the same focus fire perk, at least if you're lucky enough to get that drop. So overall, a very good auto rifle. And we can compare it here to the Eidolon Ally, which is one of those really high rate of fire, low impact ones. As you can see, it's quite a bit better, but doesn't have quite the magazine size. But overall, it's a very good auto rifle, guys, and I would suggest hanging on to this. Even if you get the one without focused fire, hang on to this auto rifle and use it. It's very good. You can get some decent perk setups on this weapon. So that's pretty much it for the PvE side of things. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into some PvP gameplay and let you guys see how this performs in the Crucible. And again, I don't do very well this match, but I just want you guys to get a handle and see how this weapon does, overall in the hands of somebody who, like me, is not very good at the Crucible, but sometimes I manage to play well. But overall, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope you find it helpful. And, if you guys have any rare gems of your own that you like to use or you want to see me maybe take a look at, then let me know down in the comments, and I'll see if maybe I can find some of those other decent rare weapons and do a review for them. Anyways, guys, enjoy the PvP gameplay here, and I will see you again next time. What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23, and really quick here at the end of the video, I'm going to jump into some Crucible, a match here, so you guys can get some gameplay footage of the ALR96 Overkill. We are playing on Burning Shrine, so I will probably play a little bit more conservative here, as this is kind of a close quarters map that can get kind of chaotic. So for most of this match, I'm probably going to try to play at a mid-range with this weapon and basically see if I can get some kills and not play too terribly with it. But overall, I like this weapon. It's what I call one of my rare gems, and I think of it kind of like a poor man's Suros Regime. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this gameplay, and I'll be able to make this weapon look very effective for you. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna come back at the end. So just enjoy the gameplay, guys.
Zone B lost. Enemy captured Zone B. Heavy ammo on the way. Heavy ammo available. Zone B neutralized. Zone B secure. Zone C lost. Zone A neutralized. Enemy captured Zone C. You captured Zone A. Gained the lead. Zone C neutralized. Zone C secure. You control all zones. Zone A lost. Enemy captured Zone A. Heavy ammo inbound. Heavy ammo available. Zone C lost. 5 minutes remaining. Zone C secure. Lost the lead. You're in the lead. You're falling behind. Gains the lead. heavy ammo on the way. Mow them down. Show no mercy. Heavy ammo available. A single victory doesn't win a war, but it's a good start. Good work.
Alright guys, so jumping back in here at the end of the match, that did not go very well for me. That was one of my, probably one of the worst matches I've played in a long time. Compared to some of the videos I've been doing, that was very, very poor play on my part in the Crucible. You can see I only went 0.75 there, but hopefully you did get to see how this weapon performs in the Crucible. And, you know, I'm not afraid to show my bad gameplay. I don't like to cut things and only post the good gameplay. So you can see there, you know, I had that 4.75 at the last word and was over 2.0 with Suros Regime, but this time I went sub 1.0. So have your good days and your bad days in the Crucible, but just wanted you guys to be able to see how the ALR96 Overkill performs in the Crucible. So hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and I will see you again next time.